Good morning here. And today, I got a lot of news. Okay, this thing is bugging. It's going on with YouTube, but all week, we've been trying to get. There are a lot of irregularities in mail-in ballots in each state. So the government has not. So the GOP is not backing him, or he can't get the funding for the coronavirus team. They're not turning over any funding. The press, who is the United Secretary, said that they are planning for a second transition to. They can't certify Joe Biden, so just the president elect. That's all he is. So the Secretary of Defense has been fired over the Black Lives Matter stance. Trump tweeted that he's replaced by Christopher Miller to lead the Pentagon under the Trump campaign. Official that is the head of transition working with Joe Biden at all. Barr has sent out federal prosecutors across the U.S. to pursue substantial allegations. But if you go to social media or YouTube and you type in voter fraud, there's millions and millions. The government has split from the media, and the media is going one way, the government is going the other way. So this is the United States government. If you don't follow the government, you're outside of the law, and at that point, you're done. So that's one thing that's going on. So over the crime branch since 2010, he has stepped down because of Barr's came out and said that who was involved with the IRS, and this is why I say don't get in the fight and just follow the Constitution, because what has been happening is the Republicans have been kept out of government for almost 100 years. The last Republican president that we had, I think, years. So it is what it is. If you follow the Democrats, keep on following them, because they have separated themselves from the government and the Constitution. So we're not going to even get into any debates, because if you don't have any constitutional law, you can't debate me. Okay, so John McConnell goes as a contributor after not disclosing he was a speechwriter for Joe Biden. So John Meacham was fired for MSNBC yesterday because he wrote all of Joe Biden's speech, even the one he did Saturday. So if you go back to 1981, Joe Biden was running for president. And within a month, his presidency started to fall apart. And what happened was Joe Biden stole somebody's speech and started using it. Now, MSNBC has found the speechwriter, has been working with them, and he didn't tell MSNBC that he was writing Joe Biden's speech. So Joe Biden, this is why they're calling him a cheater, because he's cheated before. He's cheated with his speech. So they found John Meacham is Joe Biden's ghostwriter. He ghostwrites speeches for Joe Biden. So that's what's going on there. So sources told New York Times Meacham had been playing a large role, was previously known behind the scenes, both writing drafts of speeches and offering edits on many of Mr. Biden's big addresses, including one he gave at Gettysburg last month and his acceptance speech at the Democrat National Convention. So John Meacham wrote that speech too. All right. Mitch McConnell says the President Trump is 100% within his rights, as the Republicans are saying Donald Trump's right not to concede because no state has certified the results yet. Okay. Preliminary result, voters across the nation elected Republican senators to to a degree that stunned prognosticators. American people have reached to Democrat radicalism and obstruction by shrinking the speaker's majority and electing Republicans. So the Democrats have been shrinked in the House because of this bullshit. So you see what's going on with these Democrats. They are losing, and the media is not showing it to you. But I've picked out the articles and I'm showing you what's going on. So there are no states that have certified the election. Results, 1 or 2 states that are on track for recounts. So Trump is 100% within his rights to look into allegations of irregularities and weigh his legal options. Mitch McConnell refused to recognize Joe Biden as the president. He made a remark stating Constitution gives no role in the process of wealthy media corporations. So Mitch McConnell basically said the media is not the government. It cannot call elections. Now, if you go back, I watched Joe Biden's address yesterday. Joe Biden sounds really sad because he doesn't have access to the money. Like, if you're the president, you're the certified president, you should get access to all of that stuff. Like, you should have access to that stuff. Why doesn't Joe Biden have access to these things if he's the president? Think, people, think. Okay, McConnell also told Democrats not to lecture because that is the same party that spent 4 years of denying the president's election. So the Democrats have been denying this election for 4 years, saying not my president. And now when the Republicans turn around and say, Joe Biden is not our president, now they're mad. You did this to yourselves. All right. So the media has taken a stance. If you know, the novel is set in Great Britain in a world with war, omnipresent government surveillance, and public manipulation. The superstate, which is now the deep state today, the superstate and its resident and are dictated to by a political regime, euphemistically named English socialism. The superstate is under the control of the privileged elite, which is the media, of the inner party, and a party and a government that persecutes individualism and free thinking. So the 1984 George Well was talking about free thinkers being persecuted. So this is what's going on when you try to get out the truth, and then you have people repeating what the media is saying. The media is it's called a totalitarianism, which means the media is controlling the government. That is what George Orwell's book was about, 1984. I put 1984/2020 because the media has hijacked the government. So this is why a lot of us have taken to YouTube and come to give you the real and not what the media is basically saying. Now, what I do is I go and research the articles and I look into them and see what's being said. I don't take and run with everything somebody's saying to me. So in 1984, newspaper articles were rewritten to support the party line. Think of the book burnings. Back in the day, there was a thing called the book burnings. People that were intelligent and that were coming out with the truth and putting it in books, the Catholic Church was burning them. And this is what we're up to again now. We've always had people around us who want to deny the truth. They want to live in ignorance. And then when you come out with the truth, they want to burn it down. They want to stop it. They want to burn your books. They want to cut your feed and stop you from saying certain things. The media is 1984 George Orwell all over again. So that is what's going on. The government has split from the media. The government is going the Republican route, and the media is sitting here now saying, well, this is not right, and we can't do this. And our democracy, we don't live in a democracy. We live in a republic. When you say the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, it says that we're living in a republic. That's it. That is all. So that is what's going on. Happy Veterans Day to all the people who have fought for their country and died and lived, the ones that are living and the ones that have died. Blessings to you. It is Veterans Day. Relax. Everything is going to be okay. So that is what's going on. Also, too, I just saw a article about the Electoral College. The Electoral College is what is coming up next. And the Electoral College is what picks our presidents. It's not voting. You can participate in that, but the Electoral College has the last say. Now, there is a group out here that's trying to get rid of the Electoral College. It's called it's a compact of states that are trying to get rid of the Electoral College. And they don't want the Electoral College here because they like the popular vote. And the popular vote can never win in a republic. I'm sorry. That's democracy when the popular vote wins and you get a dictator. That you can't have that here in the United States. So that is what happened. So with the Electoral College, they're saying that Trump is now firing all the secretaries of states, and they're replacing them with people who is going to follow the Constitution. So this is why you see a lot of people getting fired, because they're not following the Constitution. And when you don't follow the Constitution, fire. That's it. So that is all that's going on. From my perspective, Mike Pompeo said, get ready for a second transition for the Trump administration. So tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe. Salon B. Have a great morning.